Welcome to the Lodge. You've accessed
The Lodgecast Experience.
Warning, warning, dangerous spoilers ahead. Enjoy.
And the Lodgecast boys are back with their hot takes.
Hot takes!
Patented hot takes. We got a special guest tonight. Brother Nathan is here.
Hey, everybody.
Along with brothers Bishke and brother Lucas.
Live from the lodge.
Good evening.
We have gathered tonight to discuss John Krasinski's A Quiet Place. We've been keeping ourselves muted for so long, and now it's time to break the silence. So, Nathan, why don't you kick it off? Like, what? We're not going to belabor the plot. Everybody knows it's a bunch of it's a mute family, can't talk, and there's some creatures in the woods. What's your response, Nathan? First blush.
Well, even before I saw it, I was like, this is a clever idea. This is a clever idea to use sound as the enemy and yada yada yada, and get everybody in that way. So I thought the first hour was pretty great. I mean, when you don't show these creatures, your mind is just going crazy about what they look like. It's like spider guys. I mean, I'm sure you guys had early, you're like, well, what the hell does this thing look like? You know, it's a big hairy, and it's super fast.
I thought it was going to be a lady in the water type snarf creature.
It
kind of was.
Like a UFO came down from the sky and like zapped spiders, and they're like 90 feet tall or whatever, 9 feet tall. So at first, I mean, there's a lot to it. I think people will not know what to expect, because they think it's like it might be a silent movie, what it did is isolated the soundtrack and made that more of a character,
which
so
is
I thought
special.
was really interesting. But then it kind of devolves into a monster movie.
What are your guys' first thoughts on it?
Yeah, I feel it was a taut suspense thriller, family drama that was acted very well, and it's stellar opening, and it really kind of takes off with some speed. But I kind of, to quote Roger Ebert, it kind of like, once it reached cruising altitude, there wasn't a whole lot of turbulence, and the landing was pretty smooth, and there are callbacks to other films that I can reference later. But overall, I felt it was solid, but it didn't really go anywhere great, like as much as I wanted to.
The payoff didn't pay off the setup.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it got me real hungry for like a big meal, and I got like some taste, but not nearly enough portioned meat.
Brother Bishke?
Yeah, I thought it was very inspired premise. I love dealing with the sound alien. They take it very seriously that they have to be quiet, and the direction's great from the beginning. Like the first scene, and the little kids scampering around. Like you're like, what is going on? And so it was kind of like it was a pure thriller.
Right.
There's not a lot of character stuff going on here because you can only sign language so much character.
Right.
So it was like.
And what was interesting is one of the girls cast, who is a deaf child, is, I think, in real life hearing impaired. So that was a nice little flourish, like to cast someone with a disability in real life.
Yeah.
I think that made it more
very
not do deaf minstrel.
Yeah, they're woefully underrepresented on screen, and I don't know how much of the sign language was real, but it didn't matter. It was irrelevant. It was just refreshing to see like a real person.
Like I was just like, how long can they keep up the thrills?
Right.
And I thought once they get to day 473, they have a really bad day at the farm in the valley.
The lights turn red.
And I really liked, and they didn't really deliver on it, but Blunt is like this ticking time bomb with a baby.
Sure.
It's great.
Well,
I think it's the hook of the film, and one of my issues with it, which kind of made it like bittersweet, was they have like this explosive plot point, like this amazing dramatic development revealed she's pregnant, man. And there's no build up to it. And I felt like, man, if someone like took the Speed movie model and was like, oh man, we have to make the whole movie around this, instead of like 400 days, it's like trimesters, like then you just ratchet up the fucking pressure to the point where Krasinski's like smothering her and is like, is he gonna kill her? Is he not gonna kill her? And then it's like, no, it's like, it would have been so much more insane. It would have been like Deer Hunter on crack.
The baby is born, and it's hardly crying. It's kind of whimpering.
They also didn't prep. They didn't prep for this,
and they didn't prep. That's where I was like, this family would have been dead.
They had a micro coffin.
You really think you bring out the emergency condoms in a situation like this? You really do not want a crying baby around. So everyone's been born into this. We can assume they're smart enough to where and they understand.
Unless they
like,
conceived the child the night they lost the one in the cold open or something, and they made it part of the dramatic. Like,
that'll be a Quiet Place origin.
Conflict.
Your cliche is just there's a knee jerk there with the baby. I know it ratchets it up every time.
Yeah, I was like, get that baby to the waterfall, but the baby stays quiet, and they build this soundproof basement, but they haven't tested it out.
I know,
they're not
tested it out. Yeah,
it's not waterproof.
But I give the movie. I mean, I give the movie that for explaining some scenario. Because if you had a crying baby all night, all the spider guys would come and get you. It's like,
I don't know.
There's a couple of really interesting points. I mean, his direction is pretty solid for this movie. Plus, he's in it, and I also liked when he spoke. He had kind of a like he hadn't spoken in a long time voice. I mean, it was really authentic. He had his performance was really odd to me, but it worked.
Yeah,
I almost smirked.
I thought you had the Amityville
almost. You almost smirked.
No, I laughed. I laughed out loud.
I was laughing pretty hard.
Maybe I laughed at that.
When he yells, I couldn't help it.
I felt like it would have been more dramatic if we didn't hear the yell. Like if it was his deaf daughter witnessing it. Like,
Lucas.
And if it was him like running towards the creature.
All fingers point to
Lucas. Lucas is correct.
Just make it more dramatic. Like it was just so.
Well, that's a spoiler.
I had to laugh because
everyone's seen it.
I had to laugh because that scream, I had to believe, had been not the first scream. Like, they tested a couple, and they're like, it needs to have this. It needs to have notes of this. Freedom! And it felt... I smirked imagining the kind of round table discussion that went around which scream was the best. God. Oh, this one has notes of familial despair. This one has guttural manly notes.
All these studio notes on the screen.
Yeah, but
well, I like that idea, Lucas. I mean, if it was from the POV of the daughter didn't hear, it'd be great.
And I think the climax undelivered. That was when I kind of knew the nail was in the coffin, and I knew it was like, oh, they almost had it, but they botched it because I just felt they didn't really think the execution through in a way where they could have really just thrown gas on the fire and made it like way more crazy.
I thought that's the premise was so great to bring us all in there.
Yeah,
and then to have it just be a survival, like right in the middle of the movie. I'm like, okay, we're just watching them survive, right? There's no story here other than
that was cool.
And that's a little bit where the steam goes
out.
out.
Like, oh, this is it.
When the alien.
Well, it's like,
what do we think of the alien?
Off every day.
I thought the aliens were like...
No, I want to hear, one word of what you think it looks like.
One word?
Yeah, like one word. What kind of monster came through the door? And you see his head thing, and what do you guys think?
I just thought...
Alien?
I just thought fussy, because it seemed like everything... Every element from every alien of this type thrown into a
Troopers
face.
Is the insect I was thinking.
Like, it looked cool, but it looked like a Ready Player One amalgamation of properties in a face of a creature.
Number one,
to me, it was like the Xenomorph, Venom, Wheelie Man from Return to Oz trifecta. You know,
I thought it was the monster from Super 8 with like a mushroom head. You know. I mean, because it's designed by the same guy. I know who designed that.
Killer earlobes.
But it's all muscle and it's all tissue, and it was kind of like a ground spider, but it had a huge vibrating heirloom mushroom on its head or something. You know, it's like it's brown. It's shit brown. We can all
agree on that.
It's not shiny. It's hairy.
I'm gonna say that
show it.
Pretty much everything we're bringing up is quibbles because it is a well-made movie, but. Oh, the thing that brought me out of it so hard, where I'm like, oh, I don't know if we're in capable hands anymore, is when we go down to Krasinski's little bunker and you see his whiteboard.
Yeah, he's got stuff circled.
The whiteboard there are like 7 items on it, and it is just like survive, weaknesses, how many? 3 crossed out, 5. Like,
it's not good production.
It's not good production design at all, and it
skeleton crew.
Like, I hate that something that small can knock me out of it, but they kept showing it, and it was so glaring in the background at all times.
It becomes a plot point.
I'm like, this guy's kind of a dummy if that's like his Homeland conspiracy board.
But it helps the daughter realize that her hearing aid is a dog whistle.
Oh my god.
Yeah. At first, when she pops in that hearing aid, I didn't know what happened. She was getting pissed, and she throws it out of her ear. So she's getting pissed that it doesn't work for her.
So you didn't see that coming
Well,
8 country miles away?
What?
That her earpiece was going to be the key to everything?
The frequency?
They shouldn't have had us be ahead of that.
I thought that was
it's like a
overwritten.
callback to M. Night Shyamalan's Signs, because it's like,
The whole movie just Signs
the key to their salvation is a very
world.
simpleton, kind of mundane, and then you're thinking like, wait a minute, like doesn't the U.S. have like Tomahawk missiles that make loud noises that could like
Sure.
make these things explode?
How you start to
And you
think
can shoot it in the head with a shotgun, so...
you got to get it close though. You got to get it real damn close.
Yeah.
And that's their.
I
That's
feel
their
like the
mission at
writers watched Jurassic Park and that scene where he's like, Ian, freeze, like don't move the T-Rex. It's like based on movement.
That's what I felt.
They were
Yeah.
like, wow, what if it was sound?
Yeah.
And when instead of
That's all you
dinosaurs,
need.
it was aliens, and like they didn't really come up with enough set pieces to kind of string it together.
I don't think they figured it out. I mean, I don't think they knew what happened. It's just, okay, big creatures that hunt you, because when they hear you, they love that idea, and everybody loved it. And yeah, we won't show them till the third reel and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But then no one,
But-
like that you saw the blackboard.
But
they didn't
there's
figure
been
out.
a spate of these where it's like, what's that? Don't breathe. It's like that one was
No,
there's a
yeah.
blind guy afoot. We got to avoid him. Now this is can't make a sound, but we got to keep going about
We
our
need to
business.
smell. We need to
Now there's
smell.
going to be a smell
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, smell-o-vision.
We had the
You,
fog.
you
we
have
had
so many
happening.
people now being like, okay, there are 5 senses that we know of. Taste, smell. Like, we're going to get all those.
How
We're going to
many
get
of
all
them-
of them.
Yeah, how many of them translate cinematically?
We are going to find out.
Yeah.
They're going to bring
Yeah.
back smell-o-vision.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't
It'll just be
think...
smell.
4DX.
I don't think this is the last A Quiet Place we're going to see. Like, this
No.
is going to be a
Oh, this
big
was a
hit.
hit.
No, Emily
Might
Blunt
do
was
is
racking
really
that shotgun. They ended it on a button. It was a funny, like, little
Yeah.
upbeat.
And then
like,
she'll find Matthew McConaughey out in the corn, and he'll be like, "Hey, I haven't seen a woman in decades."
Blunt's good. She's a good post-apocalyptic
Hey,
mom.
it-
Yeah,
for a
she's
final
fraught with
girl,
tension. It definitely feels like
for a
she's
final
stressed
girl,
out.
right?
Yeah,
Like she's better than average cast.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so we can't go on too much longer because then it won't be a hot take. It'll
Yeah,
be a
that was,
slow,
that was that was hot. That was
it'll be a
hot.
was a hot
slow
one.
boil.
Slow, it's a medium lukewarm take.
Yeah. So Lucas, what are the bones looking like here?
I originally felt it was 3 because I was like, yeah, I could tell my mom or dad to see this, like a family member, but then I was like, no. After sleeping on it, I give it 2.5 because it's technically solid, but that ending scene with Krasinski screaming, I just realized it also doesn't work dramatically because they show us that earlier with the guy in the forest, who does it.
Who
so,
does the scream.
so he kind of plants the seed in Krasinski's head, but they don't show us the moment where Krasinski realizes, like, oh, that's what I should do. Like,
I thought his sacrifice was pointless, but anyway.
and it had the Jurassic Park visual where they're like, they've got the shield or whatever as the thing's training them.
2.5 bones from Lucas. Mr. Fishke.
I can't recommend this as highly as I'd recommend Tyler Perry's Acrimony, which I gave 2.5 bones to. So I'm going to give this one. I'm going to give it 2. I think halfway through it was thrilling. I felt unnerved after the movie for a while, so that was effective. And yeah, better than average thriller. Yeah.
That's 2 bones from Mr. Bishke.
Oh, in today's climate, I'm thinking I'm 3 bones because this thing teases, it pleases.
Fair enough.
And
That cold open's great. That's a great
that
cold
first
open.
hour
enough.
of
The
it
open-
is
the
a
opening
lot of
is-
fun.
In today's climate, that's true.
So, I mean, I think people should see it. I mean, there's a lot of crap out right
You
now.
gotta see it on the big screen. I feel like on the TV it loses some of its power.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
the theater stays quiet. They're tense.
I couldn't believe that
There's
the
a lot of
theater did
teeter-tottering.
stay as quiet as it did.
Yeah. There was no laughter in my theater. It was just.
It was, we had a lot of, like, small children,
It's
too.
totally frightening, man. You make a little noise, and there's maybe one in the area, and that spider guy comes rolling around at 100 miles per hour and takes you out. And how does it leave? Like, in the bathtub? Like, how do you be like, you're watching TV and one comes in your living room, right? You heard your TV or something. But how does it ever go away? Ah.
It teases, it pleases.
But it teases, it pleases.
You have
3
indigestion,
bones.
it's just bubbling and gurgling.
I can't go 3. That I hate it, but like that whiteboard sent me down. That whiteboard sent me down a dark
nitpick
path,
right there.
and it kind of painted the rest of the movie for me. And I don't care. I don't care if that's shallow. But it did. I'm being honest. Why not be honest on this hot take? So I got to give it 2.5. I respect the filmmaking. It teased. It did please. I thought the abrupt ending was weird note to end on. I don't know.
It should have ended on the baby crying, like, but a good cry, like a happy cry.
Yeah, like a
smile,
smiling
like a
cry.
smiling cry.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, we have smoked at this point. That was our hot takes.
See you at the next lodge.
We'll see you at the next lodge, and you'll hear us on the next Lodgecast proper. Love and light.
Teases it pleases.